Hey guys, good morning and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, today we're in a very different setting because we are staying for 1 month in Tuscany. We basically kind of just wanted to leave the city and move to the countryside for 1 full month, so we rented a really beautiful house and we're literally in between Tuscany, Lazio, and Umbria, like just in the border of the three of them. But we're actually in Lazio. And of course, I wanted to film videos because I came here to feel a little bit more refreshed and to kind of have like a reset. And of course, as you can see, the dogs are super happy and enjoying it. Ollie is right here and Masha is over here. So I was actually planning on filming inside of the house, but I didn't really bring any lights. So it was very dark for filming. And I decided that this spot was honestly super nice. And we've been here for quite a while. This is actually a spot where I love reading, having my morning coffee. I am underneath like this beautiful tree. And for some reason we have a cricket today, but usually it's birds. But if you see some light changes, that's because there are sometimes clouds and sometimes it's like completely sunny. Now, the video of today is going to be the 15 best, my favorite summer bags for 2026. Every year I do a summer bag deep dive, and this year is particularly exciting for me because I really like a lot of things that are out there. I really am so in love with the new things that Matthew Blazy has been releasing for Chanel. I even like a few Balenciaga bags, and that's something that I did not think that I was gonna be able to say. There's just been so much movement in the fashion houses that it has made everything so much more interesting. Like, many of them really needed a change. I don't know how many of you are gonna agree with me, but I am so happy with Jonathan Anderson at Dior. I am so happy about Matthew Blazy at Chanel, like also Bottega, Fendi. Like, every single time that I open Instagram or Pinterest or I check the website for any of these fashion houses, I find something that I truly like. And the season that I feel like I've been loving the most and kind of reflects a little bit better my style has been summer. I would say spring too, but definitely summer. So I've had plenty of time here to just relax, read books, but also browse a little bit. So I have so many open tabs. I just need to bring my laptop because I need to pull up the pictures and everything. Apologies about the rumbling. I'm gonna get into the video. Of course, starting by my outfit of the day. I've been doing that with every single video that I've been filming here. So I'm wearing this like silk shorts. They're like a cream color with a little bit of lace on the bottom, and the top, which I absolutely love. This is from Wild Rose and Sparrow. We'll be definitely linking it down below. You can see Ollie right there. And I am wearing boots because today we're actually planning to go to Siena, which is a town in Tuscany that is very slippery, and I mainly brought ballerina. And these are from Decathlon, but they're really comfortable, amazing to walk in if it is a little bit slippery. Now, before I get into the bags, I wanted to show you new pieces of jewelry that I recently got. They are from Linjer. Love this brand. I use their rings and necklaces all the time. So basically, I saw on their Instagram that they had like the dewdrop stack. I fell in love with the style and I already had one of the necklaces, so I just needed to get the other two to basically complete the set. So that's what I'm gonna be showing you guys today. I am so excited. Also, something that I really love about Linjer is how refined and timeless the pieces are, but they're also made out of recycled silver and gold. Every single time that I enter their website, they have the most stunning new pieces. It is always honestly impeccable. So when I saw this tag, I just thought that it was 100% made for me. It is absolutely beautiful. And the last one is the Mara. This is one that you can wear completely by itself. It is like the base of all of this. It's the one that is gonna go at the bottom. Then we're gonna do the Neve, that is like the mini diamond station. And on top of it, we're gonna do the Solo. So starting with the Mara, that is the one that sits at the bottom. This is a diamond drop station necklace in 14 karat gold, and this is kind of going to be the foundation of the stack. It has this beautiful lab-grown diamonds spaced out on a very delicate chain, and it's the one that I'm gonna set on the longest because it's going to be like the base of the entire stack. Now in the middle we have the Neve. This one is the mini diamond drop station. I absolutely love how even just these two look so beautiful together. And the last one is a Romy. This is a floating fair diamond necklace. I would say that this is the piece that is like the cherry on top for the morning dew stack. I can definitely see myself wearing this so much. It's so romantic and so me. Of course, you can wear them all individually if you want. Also, it was because of Linjer that I became such a big fan of Morganite. My ring, this one that I always wear on this finger, is from them, and it's the most beautiful shade of pink, and I've been really loving anything that is pastels. They have so many different pieces. I do have my favorite section on their website in case you guys want to check it out, but of course I'm going to be linking the necklaces on the description box down below, and you can always use my code JESUIS-LOU at checkout. I hope that you guys like the pieces as much as I did. I think this tag is absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna go refill my coffee and let's start with the handbags. Okay, so I had to also go get my hair up because as you can see, it's getting a little bit windy and I was just gonna get my hair all over my face. But now deep diving into the handbags. Of course, I want to talk about Chanel and Matthew Blazy. And this specific Maxi Flap in pink raffia has been all over my feed. I've seen it so much on Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok, absolutely everywhere. And it's from the Chanel Cruise 2026 to 2027. I would say this bag really reflects what Chanel needed and that Matthew Blazy brought in. And this one actually being his first cruise fashion show, being in Biarritz, which I think it is very, very meaningful because this is where Gabrielle Chanel set up her first couture house back in 1915. And I'm absolutely loving that we're seeing pink so much in pretty much every fashion house. I've been having this massive pink era, as you guys can see. Literally, it's been my favorite color. And I really like with this Maxi Flap that being raffia, it still has structured, but it's going to be such a comfortable bag. And I think it's super cute. You still have the leather chain strap, you still have the CC, so it's still a very classic bag. For me, it's like everything that makes a Chanel handbag a classic, like all of these little aspects, turned into like a really perfect beach bag. I'm not gonna lie, I think this was done in such a fantastic way. Would I get it? Maybe not. If I had unlimited Chanel funds, then absolutely yes. I would get and use this bag so much. However, the price point is a little bit up there, so I would rather say no, but that does not mean that I don't think it's one of the best like summer bags that I've seen Chanel release in a really long time. Now sticking with Chanel and going a little bit more Delulu, during cruise there were a lot of embroidered classic flaps that I think that a few years back I would have not liked them as much as I do now, but lately with Chanel collections, these are the bags that I usually just drool all over them, and they're so pricey but they're so beautiful. Specifically this one, it was like a marine embroidered flap. I don't really have the name for the specific bag, but usually these bags round up around the 20 to 40k, depends on how intricate it is, but they're so stunning. It has like this pale pink satin base and then the incredibly hand embroidered fishes and just like corals and seagrass, like all of the little details. If the Little Mermaid would have a bag, this would be like the bag that I would picture. This whole collection was called Sous le salon la plage, which basically means beneath the salon, the beach. And everything was so mermaid coated, from the raffia bags, the seashells, all of the little details. It was really beautiful. And realistically, these runway pieces are not a grab from the shelf just on a shopping spree, but more like a special order or a piece that you really just fell in love with. I personally have been really drawn to these types of bags lately, and I'm honestly including it a little bit more like, let's appreciate the bag and the craftsmanship and how beautiful it is, rather than something that we can realistically find. Okay, one more Chanel and we move on. This one I feel like I had to talk about it, not specifically because I'm the biggest fan, because it is the type of bag where I think, okay, I get it. Perhaps I would not buy it myself, but I can definitely see like the artistry and the appeal and why so many people really love it. And that is the transparent handbag trend. We saw on the runway this like mesh almost. They are transparent, they they are see-through, they just look so delicate. So I think this is just like the perfect example of what summer inspires. Maybe they're not the most versatile bag or an everyday type of bag, but I definitely think that is worth noting because it is very interesting, this whole idea that the bag is a continuation of the outfit itself, because we've been very much into transparency, lace, delicate materials, and flowy things. So this is like the take, but on the handbag. So I definitely like it. So yeah, I would say that I'm a really big fan. These were like the 3 mentions that I wanted to give out to Chanel's new drops, but I'm really loving the color palettes. I'm really loving the different textures, the different materials, everything. Now going into Fendi, I was browsing and I found this bag that I think it's absolutely beautiful. This is the Fendi Baguette 3D floral embroidered bag. It's from the spring summer collection for 2026 and it's the last collection before Maria Grazia Cutie takes over. I was never much a Fendi fan, but recently they have kind of been winning me over, especially with the Mama baguettes and the embroidered bags. I've changed my mind a lot in the past 2 years, and this is like a perfect example of a bag that I would definitely get because it feels special, it feels different. I just love it, and when I was thinking about summer, this bag fit perfectly what I was envisioning. I am completely obsessed with the lavender one, with the 3D floral embroidery, like the bouquets. Anything with flowers, I'm pretty much sold. Lately, I've been just a little bit weaker when it comes to those things. If it sparkles, it has flowers, satin, velvet, anything like that, I am very weak for it. I am quite of an easy sell for those types of things. The whole collection felt very floral, bubblegum, fairy, whimsy. It was perfect, at least in my opinion. And I know that there are so many people that collect Fendi baguettes out there, and I really wanted to include this one because I think this could be like the one, at least for this year, at least for me, because I really liked it. But yeah, just wanted to include a beautiful flowered beaded bag on a summer list. Now jumping onto Dior. As we know, Jonathan Anderson took over. Also, he's doing a fantastic job. And my attention was immediately on the special pieces again, like with Chanel. I don't know what to do about it. I just keep really liking these pieces that are like kind of one of a kind. There's this Lady D-Joy in blue embroidered lambskin, just piece of art. I think this one retails around 6,500, still quite up there, but doable. Now this one is technically not a new release, it's been around, and you guys know that I love blue, and it's in pale blue, so yeah. Now going a little bit more unhinged, but I wanted to go all in into the sea ocean theme. Dior has this like Lady Dior Art collection. So these are collectibles, price upon request. I can assume that they're around the 30,000 something. This one is the Seascape Couture edition. So this is not really something that you can actually go and get at the boutique. Like you can try. Price is insane, but they are just art. This one, I loved it so much. I think it is one of the most beautiful lady arts that I've seen out there. It's entirely embroidered with beads. It has fish, it has pearls, it has a reef, it has all like the underwater scene, but mainly like the pearl aspect. I think it is really beautiful. I think these bags generally take hundreds of hours to be made, so I understand the why of the price point and that there are not so many of them. They're either one of a kind or a very limited quantity of pieces available, and they're mainly for collectors or people that see them more like as something that is meant to be displayed rather than used. I personally, if I were able to get this bag, I would definitely use it. I just wanted to mention it because I think it ties very well with this whole sea-inspired fashion that we're seeing between all of the fashion houses that I really like, and I think it is really beautiful for the season. Now we need an honorable mention to Loro Piana because there's always one extra pocket L19 that I kind of like, and they're always like the most like unique and different ones, because I was really tempted by the classic one because it is very similar to the Mini Kelly. However, I've never really felt enticed enough to get it, but when I see these ones, I'm like, maybe that one could be. For me, this one is going to be one of the quietest but also a really beautiful bag from this list because all of the others are gonna be like a bit more out there. The bag looks like it has this linen base with this white beaded embroidery that makes the flowers, and it also has leather trims that are in calfskin and it's in gold hardware. The reason why I like this bag so much, it's because I feel like it is a little bit more out there than the classic L19. However, it feels like something that you could wear on a daily basis, whereas some of the other bags feel either for the beach or special occasions. I haven't really talked much about Valentino lately, but there's this bag that always pops up for me, specifically on Farfetch, and it's the DeVain small beaded floral embroidery bag. You have it in so many different colors and patterns, but I think under Alessandra Michel they have been doing some very beautiful, romantic and eccentric work, and these bags are a really good example of that. There's a small version that is actually in green that I really like. The DeVain is like this elongated, slightly slouchy bag with the V logo signature closure. This is really something very different from everything else that you can see on their bag lineup as a brand in Valentino. It has this vintage, almost 70s like feel to it, but in a very refined way, and I really love that, as you guys know. So this one I would definitely get, and it's one of those bags that just elevates even the simplest outfit. Like if you're wearing a white linen set and you just pair it with this bag, it's just gonna make the outfit so much better. Now this bag just reminds me of the beach, and it's the Fendi Baby B in this faded green raffia. It is definitely a bit windy today. Now, summer raffia bags are always like the perfect mix, and this Fendi one actually reminds me so much to the beach. Like it almost feels like a hat or a roof, and fringes are so in this year, like clothing, shoes, handbags, everything. And I really like the ombre look that goes from beige to green. I think it is so unique. And this Baby B is like a more relaxed version of the Fendi Baguette, so I think it's just very interesting and definitely like a very go-to summer bag that it's a lot of fun. And also the color gradient, it makes it feel a little bit like watercolor even. The fringes is gonna give a lot of movement, and it feels like actually a very casual bag, so I would take this pretty much anywhere, and you can find it actually in more colors. But yeah, for me, raffia is one of those materials that just makes everything look or feel vacation coded. Now, I cannot believe that I'm adding a Jacquemus bag to this list, but this one I think I actually may want. This one is called the Jacquemus Le Petit Turismo in crochet white. I really do think that Jacquemus does summer better than most of the other fashion houses. They just thrive during the season. And this bag is actually handmade by artisans in Madagascar, so I actually definitely see myself getting this bag and wearing it so much, and not only during summer, because it goes very well into the things that I kind of like. It has this bowling bag shape, and it's small but not super small, so it's going to fit your essentials. I really love the creamy white color, the embroidery. It does have a leather strap and a top handle, so it is a bag that is going to be versatile. And the price point, if I'm not wrong, it was like around 1,600 euros. It might be a little bit more or a little bit less. I think I'm wrong, let me double check. It's 1,399 euros, so I think this is one that I would definitely consider getting. I would love to try it on and see it in person, but it is the first Jacquemus bag that I'm like really considering to get. Now, a brand that I think that is very underrated, it's Aquazzura, and they have some bags that are actually super whimsical, really pretty, and in my opinion kind of perfect for summer. This one is called the Marea tote, and I think tote bags, when it comes to summer, they're usually the most useful and what you're gonna reach out for the most, because you're carrying a lot of stuff. And when I tell you that this bag screams summer, it could not scream it more. Like, it has raffia, it has every aspect that I would think about the beach bag, kind of. Aquazzura is actually more known for their shoes, but from time to time they do some bags, and this one, I think it is a great example of one of their best so far. The name Marea means tied in Italian, actually also in Spanish, which kind of tells you everything about the inspiration on the bag. And it's actually a drawstring, so also absolutely perfect for summer. And it also has this like pale blue leather handles and trim, which just like altogether makes the bag so beautiful. And then of course the showstopper, this incredible row of embroidered sea creatures that are in beads. There's a lobster, there's fish, there's coral, there's also starfish and little shells. It's like wearing the entire tide pool. I think this bag has a lot of personality. It can be a little bit childish, yes, but being like a summer beach bag, I think it's just granted. Now into what I'm calling the wearable it bags of the season. The row has been massive in the past couple of years, and especially the Margaux bag, but this version has this hand woven leather, so it is a little bit more summery, and it is something that the row does very well, just creating this very classic, understated, some people would even call almost basic handbags, but they're very useful, and I think they're just going to become classics or just a handbag that will always maintain relevance because of how classic and simple they are. This one, I think it would be a fantastic bag year-round, but I definitely wanted to mention it because it is a woven leather bag. I've seen it a lot, and I think it is a really interesting new release from the row, and I would actually love seeing it in some pastel colors. Now, the Prada Wish Pouch, this one I've been seeing a lot of people talking about it. It's also called the Silk Duchess. The Silk Duchess is the runway version, but you also have it in nylon and in leather. I personally would lean more towards the silk one. I've seen so many people talk about this bag, and I'm gonna be honest here, I am not the biggest fan of the style. I just think that it's a little bit too simple, but definitely the pouch bag trend is back. The shape is super simple. It is a drawstring pouch, almost like a vintage 90s clutch. The reason why I think the silk version is the best one overall, it's because the fabric has this specific structured sheen. So basically the bag doesn't collapse on itself even though it is in silk. It kind of just sculpts when you hold it. And what is interesting about this bag is that it kind of sits between eras. It is reminiscent of the late 90s Prada minimalism. It is flat, it is functional, almost kind of severe in a way, but with the current softness that everyone is loving right now and with some materials like silk, I think it really works. So I would actually love to know your thoughts on this bag. For me, I don't know, I think it is a no for now, but I can see the appeal of this bag, and it is something different that I've been seeing from Prada, especially in the choice of materials and how the bag is made. It is interesting, but definitely maybe a little bit too simple for me. So I've actually talked about this bag before, and it's the Bottega Veneta Barbara tote, specifically in the butter yellow. I just love Bottega Veneta so much, and I think this bag, the color, everything about it, the fact that you can remove the pouch on the interior, that it has the little mirror, how different it is, because Bottega Veneta is also a very low-key brand and also very useful. Like, all of my Bottega Veneta bags are so comfortable, so user-friendly, and I think this one is not an exception, so I wanted to give like an honorable mention to the Barbara tote. And last but not least, I wanted to mention the Amato Daniele Raviolo bag in this beautiful lilac suede. I'm a really big fan of the Raviolo bag, and I'm a really big fan of Amato Daniele bags entirely. Like, the quality and the craftsmanship is absolutely amazing, and I love the fact that he's been implementing pastels and suede into the spring-summer bag collections. And this one in lilac is screaming my name. I really love it. He has a whole range of different bags, so I would definitely recommend you to check his website. But this one for me right now is like the one. But he has many that are like very summer inspired. There's a seahorse meat queen bag. I just love them, but the lilac, I think it's gonna be worth taking a look at because I think it is really pretty. So this was my summer bag list. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video and the change of scenery, even though it's been a bit windier than I thought. I spent 90% of the day basically outside reading, doing pretty much anything, but yeah. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and click the notification bell down below so you don't miss any of my videos. I would love to hear you guys out in the comments if you think that I missed a bag, which one was your favorite, or any recommendations that you might have. And if you're not done watching, I'm gonna leave 2 videos right here in case you want to check them out. Thank you and see you on the next one. Bye!